Hello, one and all. This is Baka Bites, a show where we talk about all things anime and manga, from news to reviews and everything in between. I am your temporary host, Magically Average, and with me is my co-host, the ferocious and oddly precocious one, Frankfurter. Today we're going to be talking about the latest news with Disney Plus's imprisonment of anime and a new wave of manga sweeping the Shonen Jump world. But before all that, Frankfurter, how are you holding up, man?
Oh
How you doing?
man. I mean, you personally know better than anybody else out there. You and I went on vacation, and last day of
Together,
vacation,
alone, just the two
yeah,
of us.
just just touching legs and
Yep, smacking
touching
butts.
buns,
Yep,
smacking butts, touching legs, and caressing arms.
all
Anywho,
the in between.
yes, but the last day of our vacation last week, I caught COVID. So I am
Yay.
well, I'm not struggling. I'm just struggling not to cough. I have a cough that's pretty much left of it. I have a stuffy nose too, but that's mild. It's really just the cough that's really fucking me in the ass right now, and I hate it. I hate it so much. But then again, I
Yeah.
cough a lot. It is who I am. But we're gonna try and get through this episode without that much coughing, which is why you are hosting today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a demotion by Frankfurter. Drew Tendo 64 didn't come down and put the band hammer on Frank or anything. He's just a sick little lad, so I'll be taking over for this week. At least for now. Who knows what the
Ooh,
future
how
might
are you
hold.
doing?
I'm fine. I sped run through anime because we were, as you mentioned, we were on vacation the last week with our significant others and one nanobiologist as well with his significant other.
AKA nanosecond gaming. I don't know. Which
Yeah,
he needs to
whatever one.
pick a name, damn it.
Well, he yelled at me before too because I was like, we were playing a video game. He's like, you have to add me on this server. I'm like, what? And I was like, what's your name? He's like, my name, like always, the nanobiologist. I was like, dude, you've got 5 iterations of your one name. Don't at me.
Love you, man.
Like, yeah, we love you, bud. But seriously, pick a name. God damn it. But I'm doing well.
Anywho,
I watched some anime, read some manga. Same old, same old. But we will be diving a bit more into our thoughts currently on the summer season and many other news to report on and reviews to go over. But first, we're going to get the sad news out of the way. As many of you probably heard, we had another incredible artist pass away within the anime community. Solo leveling manhwa artist Song Rock Jong passed away on July 23rd, also known as Dubu. Passed away from a cerebral hemorrhage due to a chronic illness he was suffering. Dubu was also the CEO of Redice, a Korean studio that produced webtoons. He's known for his works as manga artist on series such as Space Dandy, The Island of Giant Insects, and Beautiful Legends. As many of you know, also Solo Leveling will be getting an anime adaptation in 2023 from A1 Pictures. But yet again, some other sad news. Someone who passed away very young and will be
yeah.
dearly missed in the manga community.
Yeah, this one hurts a bit. I've had the first 4 volumes of Solo Leveling sitting on my shelf for about a month now, maybe a little bit
Oh,
longer.
dude, same. Same.
And I slowly but surely was like, okay, I know that this is gold. This is gonna be the last thing I read until it's like I have series that I have to read, like I have books that I have to need to get through, but I'm not necessarily like, chomping at the bit to get to this. So I left that series for last. I started it Sunday at about 11 p.m. I read all of Volume 1. And since Sunday evening, sorry, I had to cough there. Since Sunday evening till about now, I have 10 chapters left to read of this whole story. I
And
am
Frank, how many chapters are there? Would you like to tell
there's
everyone?
180 chapters. So,
180
yeah.
chapters.
Yeah, and they're not necessarily short. Granted, there's a lot of action, so there's a lot of chapters that don't have dialogue, but
Mhm.
like each chapter is anywhere from like 30 to 55 pages.
Whoa.
Yeah, but they fly by. They fly by so quickly. The art
Yeah.
is like I'm in retrospect like after now getting into it and now reading it and now understanding the hype, this sucks. Like granted, anybody who dies in the community that is an artist or is an author, whatever have you, this just sucks. It really does. Like, they help bring to life something that is absolutely incredible. Because this started as a light novel before it was converted to a manga or a webtoon or what have you. I forget if I think it was a webtoon.
I think it was a
Yeah,
webtoon first, and then they printed it as a manhwa.
yeah. So just the fact that I'm reading it now. I mean, there's never a bad time to really read something as long as you do. But like now that I'm really understanding the gravitas of just what his work is, this sucks that much more because of how creative this person was, because of how great and amazing this one story was, let alone, I mean, he worked as an artist on fucking Space Dandy, which I hold in high regard as being a hilarious show. If you
Yeah.
like Cowboy Bebop and you want more comedy, just watch Space Dandy. It's amazing. But like yeah, this really sucks. There's nothing else you can really say it to it. It is what it is.
Yeah. And it's a real shame too because Solo Leveling is I mean, as you noted, it's a pretty big hit. And
Yeah.
it's a manhwa too, which is not a common occurrence. There are like the select few, and I know I'm gonna forget the name. It's Tower of God or God Tower or something
You
like
have
that.
Tower of God and God of High School, which were the
Yeah.
two ones that kind of lasted. There were a few that got an anime, and those two were the ones that kind of left an impact. There
Yeah.
was also Noblesse, but Noblesse was not good by any means, in my opinion. I did not enjoy my time watching it. In fact, I feel like I wasted time. But like, manhwa has not been widely adapted, and the fact that this is going to be, I think I want to say it's the fourth one, but God knows that there's been others that have been adapted, and I just don't know about it. Um, it it really just kind of stinks because I know before his death, like when this got announced at Anime Expo the other week, he was like, "I'm so excited to see this brought to life. I cannot
Yeah.
wait." And it's just like, God damn it, this
Yeah.
really just fucking blows. There's no way. There's no way to sugarcoat it.
It hits differently too because of like what you said, the fact that there's going to be an anime adaptation and basically the person in charge or responsible for bringing to life these characters from the light novel in illustrations is not with us anymore and won't be able to see it in live action, animated is a real shame. But to my point earlier though too, it's a really horrible event just for manhwas in general and like and Korean webtoon makers and content creators and other series because Solo Leveling hit that level of being like a top manga basically. Like
Yeah,
it had the popularity and it had the hype too to go along with it that brought it to the top. And you don't see that a lot with manhwas. I mean, you brought out three others that have anime adaptations out of the ocean of Japanese originated series. So it's finding these types of manhwas are obviously few and far between, and the fact that we lost someone who's put his mark on such an incredible series like Solo Leveling is very hard. That's not to say that there's not going to be others that will come out and maybe be the next shining star. And there's plenty of content creators and illustrators and artists out there that can reach that point. It's just having someone work on in such a popular series like Solo Leveling pass away at such a young age too. It just leaves such a really big hole and just feels like a larger gap needs to be crossed now to get manhwas into that same bucket of
yeah.
popularity.
And
So
I'll just correct myself now after doing a quick Google search. There's been probably like 10 to 11 that have been adapted. None of them very
that's still not a
really.
lot. I
No,
mean,
it's
that's in the
not
grand scheme,
compared to what's been released. No, almost zero. But like what
right?
they have adapted, I think the biggest one outside of the three that I've said is Ragnarok, which I think that's a Netflix show.
Yeah,
The Ragnarok, yeah, the animation. But Yeah, like I don't know any of these other adaptations. It's just it sucks. It just sucks. There's nothing more to say about it. I mean, he helped create. Granted, I don't think he's the original author of the light novels, but
No, I don't believe so. But I mean,
still, he helped bring all of that to just life, and it just sucks that his was ended so shortly.
yeah, and it being CEO over Dice too. I mean, that's a
Yeah,
big piece. So, yeah, will dearly be missed. If you haven't started reading Solo Leveling, I know Frank highly recommends it. I was in the same boat as you. I have the 4 volumes that are currently out sitting on my shelf. I'm planning on reading it. I just have not gotten around to it, but I think since this
yeah.
news, it's going to
Do
be
it
on the
over
top of my list now.
do it over a weekend because once you start it, like volume 4 was probably my favorite for the physicals, but just once you start it, you're not going to want to stop. You're going to want to blow through it. Just
Yeah,
do it on a weekend. Trust me, it is amazing.
yeah, that'll be something I'll cherish for sure.
Yeah.
But let's move on now. Just some still not the greatest news, but definitely
This
not
is
on the
more
same
rage
level.
inducing rather than like
Yeah,
sad.
yeah, that's true. So the latest on Disney Plus, and is Hulu going to be anime's saving grace? Uh, so the latest show to be sentenced to Disney Plus jail is Tomohiko Morimori's Tatami Time Machine Blues. If you're familiar, it is the sequel to the Tatami Galaxy, which was an 11 episode series that aired back in 2010, and the light novel came out, I believe, in 2004. So very old. The anime will launch on Disney Plus in Japan on September 14th and will be a 5 episode series with a special 6 episode airing on October 12th that will actually be separate from the source material. But like standard Disney Plus so far, no word on whether other countries or regions will be able to watch it on Disney Plus or anywhere for that matter. And some even stranger news coming out from our good friends over at Barnes and Noble, of all sources. Summertime rendering, which has been on
So,
everyone's mind here in the U.S. at least.
yeah, that one's a bit of a weird one. I'll just take over the reins here because I kind of
Yeah.
discovered this and told you about it. This was actually discovered back in late June. This isn't really like I didn't realize that this was kind of a weird Easter egg thrown in there. But Barnes and Noble has exclusive like box sets for the first 3 volumes of Summertime Rendering and the second 3 volumes of Summertime Rendering. Not the hardcovers, but the soft covers. Apparently, when they put the first box set up for pre-order, they said that this was an upcoming show coming to Hulu, which is really strange because this is all on Disney Plus in Japan. This isn't on Hulu in Japan. Disney does own Hulu, but at the same time, it's so weird that Barnes and Noble, a bookstore, would just say, "Hey, this is coming out on Hulu instead of Disney Plus." So it's one of those things like, does Barnes and Noble know more than we know? Like, what? I don't understand. It just Disney, you suck. That's it for your like. You do other things great, but your animation, like your handling of the anime department, absolute dog, just dog doo doo, just
Yeah.
absolutely atrociously bad.
Yeah.
You
I think
suck.
we can confirm though that Barnes and Noble is a part of the Illuminati though. The fact that they have this information.
If this comes true, then yeah, sure, I'll
Yeah.
I'll I'll, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
But back to like the original show that we were talking about, Tatami Time Machine Blues. I have yet to like it's been on the backlog of things to watch. The Tatami Galaxy. We reviewed his movie that is very similar art style in kind of not structure, but not theming. But how do I explain it? Uh,
Like style and aesthetics, you mean?
yeah,
Or like
thank you. That
yeah.
overall feel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We reviewed the episode or the movie The Night is Young Walk On Girl or The Night is Long Walk On Girl. The Night is Young. I don't remember which one. Which The Night is Short Walk On Girl. Um, that's the actual title. Excuse me. If you have not watched the Night is Short Walk On Girl, highly suggest watching it. It just sucks that something that is just so stylistic and so fucking cool like this is going to be locked in Disney jail for God knows how long. Because
Yeah.
this would be like, now that I'm more into just like, hey, granted I'm like 2 weeks behind on anime for this season, spoiler alert. Even though I'm a little bit behind, like I've been watching shows consistently season to season, so it's harder for me to go back to old shows. But for him to like, for this new show to be coming out and having a chance to watch it live, I was super excited because I remember this announcement like a few months back when they said that this was coming out. I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
This style is so unique, and like the just stories are batshit crazy. I'm so excited for this. But then for that to just completely now go to Disney Plus is just like, fuck me running. I don't know when the hell we're gonna see this come to the light of day anywhere else other than Japan. Like, it sucks.
Yep.
Fuck you,
Yeah.
Disney.
And if I remember reading the article correctly too, and I can go back real quick and review it, but I believe even the people that are working on it, so like the director, the screenplay director, everyone else, there's like some big names. I think the director was someone that worked on One Punch Man and Sony Boy. So like pretty solid shows too. But yeah, to your point, I like just reading the article and looking at the cover art visual. It's a very, very bespoke style, like something I hadn't seen before. There's a manga I'm waiting to come out, and it has a similar style. It's something like, getting in connection with an alien or something. I don't know, some weird title, but it's a very like interesting, like soft line, but an odd coloring type aesthetic to it that just makes it feel very unique and like kind of out there. And yeah, it's a shame that we might never be able to see it, at least, legally. It might be something where we take the Straw Hat crew out in the high seas to go find it, but it's it's more aggravating because there's more and more news coming out too from Disney Plus. Like it doesn't seem like the anime train's slowing down with them. We had that huge announcement 4 months ago, whatever, 5 months ago maybe, when they were finally like, "Hey, we're bringing anime to Disney Plus. Here's our
I'm gonna
list," and we
burst your
had,
bubble here. That was like October or November of last year.
all right, so fine, a year ago then, basically. But like,
Yeah, that was a
yeah.
long time ago.
Oh my God, time moves slow. Um,
It do be a
it
flat circle.
it's more aggravating because it feels like they had something in place. Like Disney Plus had an agenda, had a plan laid out. They had this entire list of shows that they were going to bring on, projects they were working on. Everyone was getting excited, and it's been radio silent for months and months and months now, outside of
Yeah.
Japan. I can't tell you how many times I've seen videos on TikTok or social media posts talking about how amazing summertime rendering is, and I'm like, cool. Like, I'm glad you got to watch it. I'm stuck. I'm stuck here trying to bail it out of prison, out of Disney jail.
Yeah.
So it's this weird sensation of like, I am excited about this news, because it does look like an interesting show. I will probably, if there is a final definitive date on when it's going to air in the US, I probably will go and watch the Tatami Galaxy first, obviously, since it is a sequel. But in the meantime, it's, you kind of take it with a grain of salt and you go, well, I might never be able to watch it in the foreseeable future. So it's such a weird like feeling of like excitement and then immediate anger and frustration, knowing that this is so far out of our reach.
Yeah.
To finish off too, we can talk more about this too. There is also still no word on when Twisted Wonderland will be airing, even though we mark 2 years, I believe, of the game and special events taking place. And this is again almost a year after the initial announcement that there was going to be an anime on Disney Plus. Still no word at all on when it's going to be airing outside of 2023 potentially. So
Yeah.
Disney Plus, just
Get
get
shit
your
together.
get your ducks in a row, man. Figure it out, because
Yeah.
this is frustrating to no end.
2 quick hits real quick on this
I think you
before
muted
we
yourself,
move
bud.
on.
It's okay
No.
though.
No, I'm still. Oh yeah,
Back
I
in the
did.
game, back
I
at it
did.
again.
I did not on stream, but I did. I did for you. Sorry about that.
You got too
2
many
quick hits.
hotkeys.
Uh, It's honestly, I
I'm
need to
surprised you don't
change
have
it.
like an air horn that just blasts off from time to time. Just
Yeah, no.
It's-
No,
it's-
not going to do that. Two quick hits before we move on to our next topic. Tatami Galaxy, if you if you are interested in watching it, um, it has not been converted over to Crunchyroll yet. It is still on Funimation. So if you still randomly have that Funimation account, go check it out there. Number two, some other bittersweet news about wow, I just completely blanked. Summertime Rendering that we found out recently is that it's not the reason why the hardcovers are delayed and is not because of the anime itself. The softcovers actually got released. They just were released in such low quantities that they sold out pretty much everywhere. But the hardcovers we found out weren't because of the anime or anything regarding to that. It was that Udon, the publisher, had problems with printing the first time around. They had problems with printing it, and I think it was something with the binding that happened. They just came out and said at one of the anime expos that's just happened. I don't remember. There's too many to count. Apparently,
yeah.
there was Fan Fest or some shit like that here in Dallas this last weekend. So it's
Oh.
like, yeah, there's anime freaking cons going on everywhere. But at one of them, they Udon announced that they had another setback with the printing company or whatever, and the hardcovers are expected to like ship out in October, and I believe that's ship out to like the vendors, and the vendors disperse to us. So we probably won't see those until October, November time, sometime somewhere around there. So
I'm
if you
I'm
have those
banking on
hardcovers
like
pre-ordered,
Christmas. Ugh.
yeah, we'll see. If you have those pre-orders, set, that's what they're giving us. But who the hell actually fucking knows? But
Yeah.
anyways, that's just a quick update.
I still think that Disney is just sabotaging the printing to try to align itself with when they're finally going to
Drop it all
release
for
it.
us.
Yeah, to release it, to let it out on parole. So we'll
Yeah.
see. But in the meantime, there's plenty of shows to be watching and plenty to be reading. One of which you should be reading is a new Shonen Jump series about Rakugo. And if you don't know what Rakugo is, it is a traditional Japanese narrative art where you retell ancient stories through onstage performances. This manga is Akane Banashi, a story about a young girl who's trying to become a Rakugoka. I can never know how to pronounce that. It's like
Rakugoka?
mangaka.
Mangaka?
Yeah,
Rakugoka?
yeah, someone who does Rakugo, who has been gaining swaths of popularity since it debuted on the Shonen Jump app back in February. It's a wildly different feel from the traditional Shonen Jump series, but it's a breath of fresh air. And there's a lot of other high-profile creators who agree. Hideki Anno, known famously as the writer and director for Neon Genesis Evangelion and Shin Godzilla, has personally recommended this series. In fact, there's a binding, like a little piece of paper on the printed versions of the manga in Japan that has like a quote from him being like, "I recommend this series," which I was like, "Hey man, use whatever you got." like that's high profile. If you have someone like that, it's basically sponsoring your series, like use it for sure.
Yeah.
In addition to Hideki Anno, we have One Piece's creator Ichiro Oda, who's also joined in and has given a recommendation as well. So two prolific creators backing this very odd, not Shonen Jump style Shonen Jump series, I would say.
Yeah.
So, question I pose is: are we entering a new era with Shonen Jump? Are we seeing a nice transition from the traditional Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, Big Three
So,
style into more creative elements with Shonen Jump? I mean, Ruri Dragon's one. We've been talking about Ruri Dragon. So, are we going
yeah,
to see more of that?
I think there's a little bit more to unpack with that question. I mean, obviously, yes, we are seeing a new era of Shonen Jump for the fact that we are kind of getting different. We are getting different stories that we wouldn't normally see with Akane Banashi. Also, Ruri Dragon, we're also seeing. There's a monthly one that I absolutely fucking adore called Shoha Shoten, which is also about comedy. We're getting a little bit more slice of lives and different comedies than I've actually seen in the past. I don't know. I'm also kind of brand new to manga, so my history isn't the greatest. So if I'm completely wrong, please correct me, somebody on the internet. You know how to do it. You
You
go on
know
this
who you
all
are
the
on the
time.
internet. Yeah, you
Exactly.
know who we're referring to.
But I think just to say, like, is Shonen Jump entering a new era? I mean, it's absolutely. You have My Hero Academia Vigilantes, which just ended. My Hero Academia in general is coming to an end sometime in the next year or two. Um, One Piece has already said that by 2025, they're going to be done. Freaking Demon Slayer's over. Black Clover is, hit and miss as to when it's actually being released.
Oh, it's
I think
entering
it's
its
on
final
a. I
arc.
think it's entering its
It
final arc, but I think it's also just like it keeps going on hiatus and coming back, going on hiatus, coming
nope.
back.
It
If
just
I'm not mistaken.
you've snuck into my announcements portion, but it just started up again yesterday, I think.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's back up and running full time in
yeah.
its final arc too.
So
So it is going
the
to be
long of
ending.
it, yeah, the long of it short is you have all these battle shonen that are ending, and everybody that I've really talked to that seems to be very interested in manga, once they find out that I am, they're like, hey, what do you think is going to be the new big three? So my question isn't necessarily like, yes, are we entering a new era? It's, hey, is this new era we're entering, is there going to be a big three, or are we going to see a movement away from something like that? Because we talked about a big three in the previous episodes as just like, hey, what would you consider now the big three?
Yeah.
Well, those shows, those manga, they're all coming to an end within the next few years. It's just like, okay, after that, are we going to get another battle shonen, you know, wave that sweeps the nation, or are we going to see more things like Akane Banashi? Are we going to see more? Well, it's one of those questions of just like, what are we going to see? Because there are a few out there that I really enjoy reading week to week that are technically you could consider battle shonen, which is like Sakamoto Days, which is really funny and entertaining and actiony. You
Yep.
also have Undead Unluck, which is all, it feels like it's coming to an end. I don't know how they're going to do it or when it's going to end, but that feels like it's coming to an end as well. You have all these kind of battle shonen that are out still too that are also coming to an end. It's just like, so are we going to see more, or are we going to see more diversity in slice of lives? Because there have also been battle shonen that they've recently canceled that I thought were doing very well. Specifically, I thought Red Hood was going to continue past what it did, but it didn't. And also, oh shit, there was one other one. The guy who made Hell's Paradise, he had a story that I thought was fantastic going on, and that got canned too after like 21 chapters, something like
Hmm.
that. It's just one of those things as to like, it. Yes, a new era is coming. It's just, what are we gonna see in that new era, and that I don't know. I
Yeah.
have no freaking clue, but I'm
Well,
excited.
oh yeah. Regardless, there's a lot of excitement
Ayashimon, by the
in
way, that is the name of it. Ayashimon.
Ayashimon. I
Yeah,
think you showed me that before. That
yeah,
sounds
it was good.
familiar.
25 chapters. It sucks that it ended like it did, but it was really good.
I think that speaks to competition too, because I understand what you're saying with a lot of like the new era shonen series coming to an end, like My Hero, Black Clover, Demon Slayer. You have though the continuing series of Spy Family, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Well,
Um,
JJK
I,
is coming to an end too.
yeah, no, that's
That's on the
true.
downward trend of ending as well. Spy Family's
Chainsaw
bi-weekly,
Man,
so
yeah, Chainsaw Man's still out. Kaiju number 8 still out. I mean, you have your standard Shonen Jump, like what quote unquote standard I would say, series that are coming out still and kind of bringing some new elements to it too. Obviously, like Spy Family has the espionage element. Kaiju number 8 is kaiju's and big giant monsters.
done very well, by the
Chainsaw,
way.
yes, it's fantastic. Chainsaw Man is just like downright perfect by all means. It's just chaotic and beautiful and
The newest chapter
sad.
today was great. I don't care that they're not, minor spoilers for the first 4 chapters of part 2. I don't care that they don't have Denji back in this first 4 chapters. Like, I'm enjoying the story that they're telling.
Yeah, yeah. But that point is just to say that we there still are the typical shonen series. I think the major shift that we're seeing with Shonen Jump and series like Akane Banashi and Ruri Dragon and others is this sort of push from other publishers in the slice of life series, like genre, we would say. I mean, because you had the huge wave of My Dress Up Darling, you have Call Me Can't Communicate, you have Nagatoro, you have a lot of these like really popular. Kaguya-sama is another one
Yeah.
too. I know it's on the Vault, I think Vault chapters for the Shonen Jump.
Yeah,
But you
they put
have
out like the first 20 volumes or something like that.
Yeah, but you have series that are extremely popular that are slice of lives, and I think you're seeing this sort of trend in readers to kind of have a sort of a split, and maybe not choosing one over the other, but I think readers are becoming more diverse in their genres and selections of manga. I don't think you see the standard like I only read, you know, battle manga. I only read mech manga or whatever. Like you're seeing a larger diversity because there's a larger pool of selection too that you can pick from. So I
Yeah.
think that's part of it too. And to go along with that, it's also a shift in the culture too. I mean, Shonen Jump, Shonen is young boys, right? Like that's I think the
It's
literal
directed
translation.
towards young boys, yeah.
Yeah, like
Or well, Shonen Jump is directed towards
yeah,
the
young.
younger male audience.
Right. So I think there's a change there too in the readers themselves wanting to have other series other than, you know, another Bleach or another One Piece or whatever it might be. You know, they want something new and exciting, and I think Shonen Jump is catching on to that, and they're putting out these new interesting sort of different feels series because that's what readers are liking. And
Yeah.
so, and we're just, and being where we are in North America, we're sort of benefiting from it all because we just kind of are along for the ride. We don't really have too much of a say in the market trends, what's happening in Japan. We just sort of sit back and watch it all unfold. So we benefit from all of those changes and get great series like Akane Banashi and others. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen next. I don't know when this is going to happen. I don't foresee it being anytime soon. I don't think it's going to be, you know, the next big one, but I'm interested to know, you know, what that next series is going to look like on Shonen Jump. You know, if it's going to be another Akane or if it's going to be another Jujutsu or Spy Family. Like, what are we going to see unfold next that's really going to capture everyone like
Yeah.
Akane did? Because you had sent over statistics too, and when it first came out, it was the number one on the Shonen Jump app, and it's continuously been roughly sixth or
Top 10.
seventh, yeah, each week when it comes out. Over, you know, for when it comes out on Sundays, I believe, right?
Mhm.
Which I mean, it's competing against One Piece, My Hero, Jujutsu Kaisen, Sakamoto Days, Black Clover, um, all bunch of different series, really. So it's very exciting to see something like that have so much popularity because it speaks volumes for, you know, what we could be seeing in the future.
Yep. I agree. I'm excited to see what comes of the future, but one thing that I'm kind of disappointed in, and this is just kind of uh I guess an update, but Kaguya is finally season 3 has finally been brought down to number 2 by the FMA Brotherhood fanboys.
No,
It has the same
it
score at a
lost.
9.13, but it's
Damn it.
still quote unquote number 2. So,
Yeah, you knew it was gonna happen.
god damn it. It was nice while it lasted.
Yeah, in my heart and in my mind, it'll still be the number one
And nobody
because
gives a shit about
everyone
either of those.
knows. Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna go into this next bit on a nice high, but now I'm on a very low of lows. So
Good.
hold on to your seats, folks. This is gonna be one very lackadaisical and depressing string of
It's
announcements.
it's time for new dates and announcements. Woo!
We just got an announcement. I was hoping you would start
No,
singing
we're,
like a
we're
little
not. We're
jingle.
not doing that. We're
Oh,
not doing the Blues Clues. Blues Clues
wonder who
bit.
it's from.
It's not
Spoiler alert,
from
it's from
me.
Anime News Network.
There you go.
All right.
All
Yes,
right,
new
have
dates and
fun.
announcements. We're going to just fly through this. So hang on while Frankfurter has a coughing fit. Here we go. All right. Animated Tekken Bloodlines has an August 18th premiere. Teasing Master Takagi-san is going to be screening in the US theaters on August 14th and 15th. Classroom for Heroes anime unveils the staff and visuals and will have a 2023 premiere. Kaina of the Great Snow Sea unveils teaser and cast, will release world premiere at Crunchyroll Expo. In fact, I read that it's going to be 4 episodes shown at the Crunchyroll Expo, which is kind of crazy. I've never seen something like that. So it's like, I'm like, oh God, they're showing like a third of their whole show. Cool. Itoki the Ninja gets 3rd key visual and opening theme, will premiere on October 4th. Gundam The Witch from Mercury will premiere in October. It's the first in 7 years in the franchise since Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. I know Nintendo 64 is excited for that.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time that a Gundam show will have a female protagonist as the main character. If I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember that from the article. I just know it's the first in 7 years, but I'll take your word for it. If you're lying, everyone go blame Frankfurter. In Another World with My Smartphone gets a 2nd season and a spring 2023 premiere. Handyman Saito in Another World gets January 2023 premiere. Keanu Reeves's Berserker, spelled all caps BRZRKR, anime will be animated by Production IG, also known for Fooly Cooly, Haikyuu, and Ghost in the Shell, and is scheduled for 2 seasons. Detroit Become Human, it's the video game gets a spin-off manga. The Detective Is Already Dead gets a 2nd season. Sorry if you like that show. Alice Gear Aegis expansion reveals its cast and visuals. It gets a 2023 premiere. Sasaki and Peeps novel gets an anime. Days with My Stepsister novel gets an anime. There's always the one weird one. There's always going to be. I think there's a few more too, so we'll get there. The Demon Sword Master of Excalibur Academy gets an anime. My Hero Academia Season 6 will officially premiere on October 1st. Black Clover manga, as I said earlier, has returned. It first chapter came out yesterday since its hiatus, the 3-month hiatus actually, and it was confirmed that it is starting the final saga. So as Frankfurter mentioned, we are entering the final chapters of Black Clover as well. Ruri Dragon, another series that we were just talking about, the manga takes an extended hiatus now due to creators' health and sudden illness. So we hope the best for the creators' quick and speedy recovery, because that series is fantastic. I know.
No.
And I was very sad. I read the article. It said, it takes a 1-week hiatus, and then like 2 days later, I was like, nope, it's an extended hiatus. And I was like, oh, I really hope they're feeling
a chapter
okay.
And they're like, haha, bye.
Yeah, I know. It's probably best that they recover fully before they come back. So hope all is well, speedy recovery, and we can't wait to keep reading your series. Square Enix will be launching an English version of Manga Up web manga site, and it will come with a phone app as well. Saving 80,000 gold in Another World for My Retirement novel gets an anime. I love that name. I'm probably gonna probably it's come on, that's a pretty catchy name. I like it a lot. The House of the Lost on the Cape film gets a home video release on September 27th. Dark Gathering manga gets an anime. It's a horror manga series. If you're interested in that, be on the lookout for Dark Gathering. Love Flops anime will premiere in October. Uncle from Another World, the anime delays episode 5 release in Japan to August 17th due to a COVID-19 outbreak among the studios working on the series. If you are watching in North America or elsewhere, that would mean that, because there's 2 episodes out, that the 5th episode will likely air, I want to say, the 2nd week of September. I think we're like 3 weeks behind. So first or 2nd week of September. But regardless, there is going to be a delay. So be on the lookout for that. Lonely Castle in the Mirror film will debut on December 23rd. Chained Soldier anime premieres in 2023. More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers premieres in October. The Dangers in My Heart manga gets a 2023 anime, which I'm excited about. I just bought the manga actually, and I'm in the process of reading it. It's fun. I like it. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, the anime based off of I think Cyberpunk 2077, I believe.
I think it's in the same world, if I'm not mistaken.
So
not necessarily
in
based
the same
off the video game,
right? But just in the same vein of that.
It's just a story inside the world of Cyberpunk.
Got it. So they have revealed a new trailer and cast for the anime. The Deer King film is available digitally October 4th and physically October 18th in the US. And to top it all off, the saddest news in the news and announcements portion. Overlord light novel will end in 2 volumes. So
Oh
there is a
no,
finale.
whatever will you do? Wowie
There is
wow.
a finality to the series, but
But it's
we
a
are.
light novel. It's gonna take a while to release those.
Oh yeah, yeah. So and I'm actually not too familiar with how many novels are out and how far into the source material the show is. I mean, we're only 3 episodes into the 4th season of Overlord, so my guess is that there's still at least 2 seasons left of material, but I could be wrong. But
There are
yes, Overlord.
16 light novels
Okay, so then it will
that
end at
are out
18.
currently in Japan. 14
Okay.
out here. Anywho.
Okay, that's pretty good. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it will end in 2 volumes. So if you're looking for a show to watch, Overlord. Hee hee.
That's your recommendation, not mine,
And
buddy.
and that's your news and announcements for this week. Insert clap track into the audio. No, not laugh trap. Clap. Okay, whatever.
Laugh trap, clap trap,
Yeah,
clap trap,
clap trap, clap trap.
clap.
Anyway.
Stairs.
All right, for our last news of the day, it's not really news so much as just a talking point and something I wanted to discuss and was
That's a
hopeful that others
question.
would discuss with us too. Yeah, pose a question to y'all. Is this summer season already ruined thanks to fall's hype train? And I say this because I've seen a lot of posts on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, talking about fall season, all the shows that are coming out, all of the announcements, all the hype that's surrounding, everything that's being, announced at the expos, all the cons, whatever. And it's sort of now turned into this weird feeling of like summer's kind of bleh. Like it's kind of mediocre. And I'm sitting here like summer's stacked. Like I understand fall's extremely stacked, but summer's still got an incredible lineup of shows that I think people are going to be upset that they missed because they're just waiting in anticipation for fall shows. So, I mean, because we have series like new series this season. Uncle from Another World is one, which I've just started. It's absolutely hilarious. It's a comedy isekai. It's basically just mocking isekais, and it's downright. I was laughing almost every single minute of the show. It's incredible. Please go watch it. It's over on Netflix right now. Another new show, Call of the Night, that had huge amount of hype leading up to it too, not just from the source material, but just the art and visuals alone.
From who?
And then returning shows like Overlord. Is it wrong to pick up girls? Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? And The Devil is a Part Timer. I mean, those 3 alone are massive hits, I would say.
Yeah.
And the ratings from Mal Live Chart even suggest that the viewers are enjoying. I tallied up about 24 shows, and average rating was 7.65, which is really really good. I mean, it's not like shows this season are slumping or they're tripping over at all. I mean, they're all kind of living up to expectation, I would say. It's just more so that you have all of the anticipation of Chainsaw Man, the 6th season of My Hero, the Bleach 10,000 or 1,000 Year Blood War, and all the other shows in fall kind of right around the corner. And just it seems weird. It's a weird,
So
weird sensation.
here's what I'll say about this. First off, this question is very similar in vein of just me asking, do you think this will be anime of the year or make anime of the year? This is kind of in the same vein as that. It's
Yeah.
debatable, you can make points as it is or isn't. It is what it is. This summer season, I would say, is very good. Excuse me. I am very far behind. I'm like weeks behind. I think 2 or 3 at least on pretty much every show except for Call of the Night and Danmachi. Or is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? This is the season for people who really enjoy anime because there isn't really that one big series, that huge series that everybody who is a watches your Black Clover, watches your Dragon Ball Z, watches your My Hero. There's not that one show for them, and the fact that we're getting potentially at least 2 3 if you count Chainsaw Man, because God knows if yay or nay that's actually coming out. We'll see in this weekend. The fact that we're getting 2 to 3 of those shows next season, that could be why some of the summer season is like not being talked about, is because everybody's making their hype up for fall. But I feel like the people who really do enjoy anime as a medium for what it is, not necessarily just 1 or 2, 3, whatever shows, those who really enjoy the medium, this season's actually very good. Because yeah, you said that Uncle from Another World, I have yet to watch it. I hear nothing but amazing things. Call of the Night, I had my doubts of like the art style, because of the way that when they turn their heads, the art just fucking looks weird to me. But it's still very good. I'm really enjoying Call of the Night. There's only 2 episodes of Don Machi out, but I'm really enjoying that. Licorice Recoil is a show that you didn't even mention. That's an amazing show this season, in my opinion. I am really enjoying that show. There is a lot out for those who actually go out and seek it. But those who are sticking to the kind of bigger shows and everything else, they're going to be hyping up the fall, and there are more people who pay attention to those shows that or mangas than they do what's out right now, that it drowns out any and all conversations that's going around this season. You can still find conversations going on about this season. If you have a will, there is a way. I would say that yes, in a way, that the fall hype train is absolutely dousing the summer, but I don't think that the summer season is ruined for the fact that if you do really enjoy anime and you do enjoy this medium, there is something out this season for you. I think one of my favorite shows, probably in the top 3, is another show you didn't even mention, Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. Brand new show this season. I've only watched the first 2 episodes. I think there's 3 or 4 out. Absolutely incredible show. It's funny. It hits you in the freaking feels after 2 episodes. The show is very good. There again, if you like anime as a medium, there's something out there for you. If you want to turn your brain off and watch Overlord season 4, you have that. You have Don Machi, which you can also argue is turning your brain off and watching. Yes, that is you, buddy. I see you, buddy.
Yeah.
But you also have like the return of The Devil is a Part-Timer, which after watching episode 1, I was like, ooh, we'll see how this goes. I don't know if it was just me, but I watched the first episode and I thought that main guy, I can't remember his name.
Mao.
He looked Mao, yeah. I don't know if it was me or not, but he looked different from the first season.
Oh, don't
Like, he
worry.
looked
The
almost
the
like
animation's very strange. Yeah, all the character
okay,
designs are very weird. I think it's
okay.
because it's been what,
So
7
long.
years or something.
It's been a
Yeah,
long time.
it's been a long time.
Yeah, but I mean, to say that this season is ruined is a gross overstatement. To say that it's being overshadowed by fall, sure, I can get on board with that because of how many people who enjoy specific shows there are talking about those specific shows.
Yeah.
So to say something is ruined because it's being overshadowed, I don't think so, because there are still those conversations online that you'll find. So there's, again, if you like anime, there's something out there for you this season.
Yeah. And ruined is a very strong and charged word. I get that. It was more just what I was seeing online in terms of, posts being made, was that a lot of the summer season was being overlooked. Like, shows that should have the amount of hype that the fall season shows have, just because, as you noted, for those who are avid anime watchers and are actually watching week to week these series, know that they're good. A lot of the other portion of the community that is just strictly focused on fall season is simply just not getting. There's so much anticipation for My Hero, Chainsaw, Bleach that it's like a one-track mind now of like, those shows aren't even up to par with what I'm planning on watching in fall, so why would I give it a chance? When, those who are watching week to week like we are and many others know, like, Call of the Night, absolutely stellar. It's a very much a one-of-a-kind type of show. The atmosphere is incredible. Like, I think Giguk in his summer recap described it as being like if lo-fi was an anime. And I'm like, that's exactly how it is. The aesthetic of the world at night and how everything is depicted, the music, all of the sound that's incorporated into it, like it's superb just for that, let alone the story. You have, again, for my on my side, I know you had mentioned too in Licorice Recoil and the Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. I'm watching Licorice Recoil, and I find that to be an absolutely stellar show. It's an original too, I believe.
Hmm.
So I mean, that's just massive to begin with too. Um, for me,
Yeah.
Uncle from Another World is one of those series where it's hilarious. And it's so unique too. It's a weird convoluted take on an isekai where basically guy's uncle comes back from a 17-year coma and retells his nephew the tales of the world that he was in for those 17 years while he was in a coma, and all these hilarious, like all the hilarity ensues thereafter. Like, hilarious premise. The art style is kind of funky too, but I think that adds to the characters, in the aesthetic of the show. There
Yeah.
are there are plenty of incredible shows. I mean, as I mentioned, I mean the ratings kind of speak for themselves, and the fact that the average across this season is roughly like a 7.6, 7.5. So viewers that are watching it are ranking these very highly. It's just very strange knowing that there are a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but there's a portion of the anime community that is hyper focused on fall. And I think
Yeah.
it's just because there's been announcement after trailer, after visual, after whatever coming out for these shows, that it's hard to ignore, and it's also hard to like keep focused on what you have in front of you right now. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I am chomping at the bit for when the second trailer or whatever we're gonna get from Chainsaw's panel this weekend for Crunchyroll Expo. Like, I am
It's not even this weekend.
waiting.
It's Friday. We get it
Yeah. So
Friday.
yeah. Sorry, Friday. Like, I am going to be refreshing my page as fast as possible for updates on what's Chainsaw Man's coming out with. Like,
Yeah.
I am on the same level of hype and anticipation and excitement as many others, but I'm also focused on what I have in front of me right now, and what I have in front of me is some amazing content. So it's just it's one of those weird sensations, and I think we talked about it on a previous episode of, is this going to be the new trend? Are we going to start seeing more and more like announcements, trailers, hype coming out from shows that are not going to be aired for like, 1, 2, maybe even 3 seasons, just to start building that anticipation? And is that going to become sort of like this dog eat dog style of anime where like you're just competing to be that top hyped show
Yeah.
season after season? I think
It
we're
could
starting to
be.
see it.
I think it could be, but I mean, I would compare it to the video game industry and the fact that marketing always puts out these like trailers years in advance to say, "Hey, we're working on this. It's not done anytime soon." That's the same thing going on with anime, but that timetable that it takes to make anime compared to a video game much shorter. So I do think that we'll see a bit more of that. But I mean, yeah, there were 2 shows that I didn't even freaking list on this season that are absolutely stellar. That just, I mean, Made in Abyss season 2, like
Yep.
one of the best shows out there right now. And then you also have Classroom of the Elite season 2. Like, there are a lot of sequels right now that are getting their time to shine, and it is being overshadowed, which is unfortunate. But I mean, there's only so much you can do. I mean, if you're a fan of it, then shout it to the rooftops to see if somebody else yells at the rooftops with you. But until
Yeah.
something reaches the rooftops like a Made in Abyss, or I guess until like a Made in Abyss or Licorice Recoil or Call of the Night or Don Machi or whatever reaches the rooftops like My Hero, Chainsaw Man, etc., Bleach, whatever, you're not going to hear as much about it even when they are out.
Yeah.
But I will say, just a quick update. I have been watching Bleach. I know that this was something that I said before. I've been watching it while I work because I can listen to it while I work, and my ADHD brain is just, it's like, yay, good. I can do something while I work. I think I am in the 150s for episodes, but I can't load Hulu right now because it's being a butt. But yeah, I think I'm in the 150s or 160s, so I'm about halfway point.
Yeah,
Actually, it just
almost
loaded.
there.
161. And I still have like
Okay.
2 filler seasons to skip too.
Yeah, you
So
do.
so
All
yeah,
right. So you're getting there. You're
we're
getting
getting
there.
there. We might actually catch up by the time the new season comes out. We'll see.
I'm so proud of you.
I know. But that's not going to be what I suggest in our next segment. Drum roll, please. We're bringing it back. The manga / anime of the week. This is what we
Yay!
recommend you read or watch. It's just something this past week that we've read or watched that we've really enjoyed. Doesn't have to be current, but it can be. Usually it probably will be. But I know for me, I mean, I just gushed about Solo Leveling at the top of the show. I gushed about something else during the show. I don't even remember. Oh,
Akane?
yeah, we talked about Akane, which is amazing. Like right now, the arc that they're doing for Akane, fantastic. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. But
And
because we've already
for all
talked
of you
about
listening, it's a tournament arc, and
no,
Frankfurter said he likes it.
it's barely a tournament
It's
arc.
a tournament arc. Do not
It's
deny it. It's
barely
literally
a tournament arc.
it's a tournament. What do you mean they call it a tournament?
It's barely a tournament.
Oh my god.
Okay, a tournament arc. A tournament arc does not last 2 fucking rounds.
Oh,
to me.
here we go. Here we go with the excuses.
Okay. Now, tournament arcs are just the bane of my existence. I hate them, but this is fine because it's only 2 rounds. It's not that bad, and they only focus on 3 fucking characters. Woohoo! That's
Whee!
a tournament arc. Wowie wow. Golly. No, I'm really enjoying that, but that's not what I'm going to suggest. What I'm going to suggest this week is a manga called Tomo-chan is a Girl. It's a show that we talked about a couple weeks ago. It was in the quick hits of announcements and new dates. It's a 8-volume manga that is getting an anime adaptation, so I decided to pick up the first 3 volumes. And I read them this past week. Actually, after we got back from vacation, I read them, and I read them before solo leveling. And I really enjoy it. I'm just kicking myself in the ass that I didn't buy the other 5 volumes because a lot of them are harder to find now.
Yeah.
I'm just like, shit, this really sucks. But if you can find it and buy it, I absolutely suggest picking up the first 3 volumes of Tomo-chan is a Girl because it does get better as it progresses, in my opinion. So that is my manga recommendation of the week. What about you, buddy? What do you got for us?
I'm gonna give a twofer because I've already talked about the anime that I'm gonna recommend a lot. Uncle from Another World. It's on Netflix. Please go give it a watch. I have not laughed this hard consistently through an episode in a while. It was absolutely hilarious. I didn't know what to expect either. I had seen some posts here and there about it, and it just recently started coming out in North America on Netflix. But yeah, holy moly. If you like shows like Konosuba and like other similar isekais where it's like making fun of the tropes and it's a satire of it, this is definitely up your alley. If you just like a comedy, this is up your alley. If you like just crazy, quirky, goofy, off the wall, batshit type of shows, this is also a show for you too. It is absolutely hilarious. There's 2 episodes out right now. Go give it a watch. And the manga I'm going to suggest is one series that I'm reading right now, which is called, and I have to remember what it's called real quick. Hang on, let me reach for it behind me. Good thing I have it stacked. No matter what you say, no matter what you say, Bori-san is scary. As has been said many a times, I am the slice of life person. This is a very cute slice of life about a girl who is kind of like the delinquent, or at least she's perceived to be the delinquent of a school, and a boy is forced to sit next to her, and she immediately falls in love with him. But he only thinks of her as a scary monster woman. So it's a fun, really cute manga. I was about to say anime. I don't even know if there's an anime coming out for it yet, but there should be because it's adorable. But definitely give it a read if you enjoy slice of lives. It's a series that I'm enjoying right now. Anything else you want to add?
No, not unless you want me to do the outro for you.
Oh, I can do the outro. You want to hold my hand?
Yeah.
You want to? Can you grade me? Okay. Yeah. Hold my hand.
I'm holding.
All right.
I'm
Thank you
put
so
it off
much.
Camera though.
Thank you, Frankfurter, and thank you all for joining us this week. We will be back next week with more news, previews, and reviews. If you don't want the conversation to end, please head over to @Baka&Co on Twitter, where you can join our Discord, buy us a coffee, or just yell at us for being the dumb bakas that we are. Any and all feedback is greatly appreciated, so be sure to spam our Discord channels with your opinions. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you all next time.